Hi there and welcome to Darlene's Creative Studio. Today is day 21 of our December daily challenge. 21 is Frosty the Snowman. This is one of my favorites. I'm just going to set this guy aside and move my journal over because what we're going to work on is I have 2 sheets of this blue paper left and I'm going to use my favorite stamps again. And my blue ink. I'm just going to move this over. And we're going to stamp some snowflakes again on the paper. And I'm going to use the smaller ones this time. Excuse me. Just put a couple of odd ones here and there. You can hear my husband in the background. He talks on the phone. He's so loud. All right. Just stamp that off there. And then I'm just going to grab a few more. Let's grab this one. This one is really pretty. Try not to stick my fingers in the ink. Isn't that one pretty? We'll do a couple of those. And then let's do, it's better to see them on that side. I like this one. Let's try this one. He's really cute too. He's pretty. Yeah, I like him. Let's do him one more time down here and there. Okay. And then maybe let's do this guy. He's kind of pretty too. I don't want to do the really, really large ones. I just want to try and get a couple of these different snowflakes in here. That. Maybe one more over here. Okay, and I'm going to pick one more just because I love them so much. I want to try and put as many as I can in. All right. Oops, I stuck my finger in the ink. All right. There. That's kind of pretty. And that'll give me lots of background. That's all I wanted, was to make the background pretty. I don't know if I'm putting them back on the right ones, but we will just shove them on there for now and make sure that guy's cleaned off. They're so pretty. I just love these snowflakes. Okay, so that is now done. So let's move that blue ink out of the way and let's pull our papers over to the side here. And I did change my elastic. So we do have a larger, so there was 20 chestnuts roasting, and I really like the red color. It went well because my printer was, the ink is getting low and it's printing everything with a pink tinge, so it worked out well. So now we're going to work on this one. And I think what I will do is put this blue paper on this side, and then this one will go on this side here like that. And I'm just going to leave that little tear showing. I really like the way it looks there. All right, so let's glue these guys on. And again, I apologize. You can probably hear my husband in the background. His sister lives in Florida, and I think when she phones, he feels like he's got to shout so she can hear him. He really doesn't. He's just got a very deep voice, and he's very loud when he talks. So you always know where he is when he's in a crowd. Okay, so we're going to put this on here like that. I'm just going to pull the paper up so I don't end up gluing it to something else on the bottom. Okay. So we have that one on that side, and I think I only have 2 small pieces of this paper left. I don't know if I have any more of the blue, so this may be the last of my pretty blue paper and snowflakes. Okay, so put that guy on there, and make sure I get it right around the edges, and he's going to go on this side. And again, we're just going to set them on the inside of the pages, like that. Okay, so this one is Frosty the Snowman. So what I thought I would use, I have some things here that I'm going to use. that remind me of Frosty. This was a card, and it had a mom and dad and a little baby. I think he was over on this side, and it was a long card. So I just cut this into tags, and then this was a little extra piece. So I'm going to use those. And then this was another card that I had, and I have this stamp that says it happened like this, and then it's got lines, so I can write a few things on there. So what I think I'm going to do for this side is put these 2 tags on here, and then I also have these, excuse me, I'm going to reach, my postage stamp squares, and I had these, this was from a scrapbooking paper, and it had little tiny snowmen on it, and I think I'm going to use these just to kind of decorate the page, put one in each corner, and then this one will go on this side. And so in order to put these tags on, I've just taken one of these vellum envelopes, and all I'm going to do, and see, the paper is so crisp it's already started to rip. That's and I ordered these online a while ago. So all I'm going to do is cut this down a bit, because I don't want it to cover up the whole part of the tag. But I want the tag to be able to sit in something and you still be able to see it. So we're going to cut this guy off. Now with this kind of paper, it's very, very difficult to punch a thumb hole in. So what you have to do is, and this one just, my punch just fits in here. So you just got to slide your punch in there very carefully so you don't rip it, because it's very tight fit. So I get it to about where I want it. And then you take a piece of paper, a scrap piece of paper, and you slide it in on top, right to the edge of your paper, and then punch. And it will actually help the punch go through the vellum. When you punch vellum, it just kind of bends and it doesn't cut very well. So if you want to punch a vellum envelope, you have to make sure you put a piece of paper on top, or you just can fold it over and put it, if it's a larger envelope. Sometimes I'll just fold it over and put it on the edge like that and then punch it. But as long as you have a piece of paper on top, a thin piece of paper, it will help it to punch. So there's a little trick. So let's go ahead and glue these guys on. And again, I'm going to use my Fabri-Tac for this only because these are cardstock. And I want them to stick and lay flat right away. So let's just glue these on. Now what I might do, as we're getting closer to Christmas Day, I might tape 2 in one day just so that I can get them uploaded, because I know the closer we get to Christmas, it's going to be more and more difficult to get onto the internet with everybody Zooming and talking to family and all that kind of stuff. It will be very, very slow. So I want to make sure that I get all my days uploaded, and then I can just schedule them to be ready for the morning of. So maybe not today, but tomorrow maybe I'll do a couple of them at a time. Okay, so for this one all I'm going to do is put the tag inside the envelope and then decide where I want it. So I'm actually going to leave it in the envelope. And again, these have writing on the back, so I'm going to be putting paper on the back of these tags. But I am going to glue them while they are in the envelope so that I can see where I want to position them. So there's that one. And then the same with this little guy. Oops, I got doobie on my hands. And I don't know how well the vellum stamps with ink, because it's this vellum is very, very thick and shiny. So I might try it on the scrap piece, and maybe I can put a snowflake or something on these. Okay, so let's just not put it too close to that other one. But so there, we got that other one in there. So see, now they're where I want them. As long as you put them in the envelopes, you can see, and they're probably not straight, right? Because I can't really see very well from my angle. Okay, so there's that side there. And again, I'm going to put paper on the back of these, so we'll do that. Let's try, while I have the stamps out, and this is oozing. Here, let me just glue these guys on. I'm going to put this little guy up here. Yeah, that corner. And then this is the little scrap fella. I'm just going to glue him down to the corner. And then I'll put my lid on before my glue oozes out. I didn't want to waste my glue. Okay, so he's going to go down in this corner. So we bring the pages together by having something similar. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try stamping on that scrap piece and see how it looks with a stamp, because then we can put one of the really pretty stamps on, or snowflakes on there. I keep calling them stamps. Okay, so let's try this guy. Oops, sorry, I move this guy out of the way here. This might be too big, but I want to see how it looks. Oh, it'll stamp okay, and then I just have to let it dry. It's a little fuzzy, but I'm going to try it because I really love these stamps and I really want them to show. And if you notice, the snowman actually has snowflakes on him, so it kind of goes with what we're doing here. So let's put a nice big one right here. Oh, that one's pretty. Okay, let's take that one off. And what's the other one that I really liked? Dun, 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 dun. I have to turn them over. I can't see very well without them. I liked this guy, and I didn't use him very much because he's still kind of clear. So let's use him. And we'll put him up there. Oh, that's pretty too. Okay. And then maybe just a little baby on here. There. Perfect. Okay. So that's done. I'll get rid of this again. Set that over there. Okay, so let's put our journal back in the center here and make sure I'm in camera. Okay, so what I thought I would do with this little guy, he's going to be an ornament. I'm going to try this. I don't know if it'll work, but what I'm going to do is take my hole punch and punch a little hole in this top of this ornament like that. And then I'm going to take some of this red and white string, and we're going to make a loop, and we go in through the front or the back. I can never remember. I think it's this way. And we make our little tails like this. Yes, that's the way you go. So I thought what I would do is have him kind of hanging, and then I'm going to tie a little bow up at the top here. So I'm just going to do a little knot. He's so loud. All I can hear is my husband. Okay, yeah, so I'm going to put a little knot right there. Well, maybe I have to go down a little bit more. So Jill, if you're watching this later on, Keith is on the phone talking to you, and I can hear him in the background. He's so animated when he talks to you. Okay. I just want to tighten this a little bit more, so I'm just going to pull this down. There. I just want the knot to come down a little bit more. There. That's better. Okay, so we got a knot in, and then I'm just going to tie a bow in the top. If I can do this without it fiddling all over the place. So we're just going to tie a nice little bow. Nice and tight. Oh, that's pretty. Okay, so then I'm going to glue that bow down like that. Maybe put it at an angle. That's kind of pretty. Yeah, so let's glue that down, and I'm going to use Fabri-Tac. I'm just put a little daub of Fabri-Tac here, and let's just double check where we want this. So right about here, we're going to put a little daub of Fabri-Tac. I hope this works, because I really like this little snowman. Come on, glue. There we go. I wasn't laying it on its side, and that's what I have to do now. Okay. Woo. Ew. I think I got a big blob of glue all over me. Oh dear. Okay. So now I'm going to put this little bow right in the Fabri-Tac to hold it. Like that. Come on. And then what I'm going to do, so this doesn't like flop around. Oh, Jiminy. No, I'm covered in glue. I'm going to take one of my Velcro dots, and I take the top off, and I take the bottom off, and I make sure I'm putting the two felted sides together. And then what I'm just going to do is put this on the bottom of my ornament, and then just kind of decide where I want him to sit. So maybe there. And that will just hold him in place. So there's my little ornament for him. And then I can just unvelcro him and write on him, and then just put him back on there. So it'll hold him there. And we've got a little bit of glue holding our bow. So there's the one side, and then these tags. Now I just have to put something on the back of these tags, and I do have some, poor sweater. I do have some paper here. This is from an old sketchbook, and I keep pages when I rip them out and use them in my journals. The top pages sometimes have a rougher edge on them, so I keep these so that I can use them for stuff like this. So what I'm going to do is, these are 2 inches wide, so I'm going to cut two 2-inch strips out of this, and then I'm going to punch the same top in the top of it and then glue it on. So let me just cut 2 2-inch strips. Alright, so 2 inches and 2 inches. Okay. And we'll see if that works. Let's see. Yes, that's good. And then I have to round the corners out. I like to have rounded corners on my tags. So let's round that out. Like that. And you could probably just glue that on and then trim it. And I think I might do that because I might not get the exact punch as to where I want it. So I think it'd be easier just to go ahead and round our, I'm just punching my little corners off, and then gluing that onto the back, and then I'll cut it. So let's do that. And I'm going to glue the card first. Okay, so we have that one, and we'll just make sure we line up our rounded corners. And with this glitter glue, you have about 5 seconds to move it around to where you need it, and then it sticks. Okay, so I'm just going to push that down. So let's do this one. And I don't mind if some of the stuff shows through it, because then it just reminds me of the people that sent me the card. I think this was Bill and Sue, and they're in England. Yeah. Okay. And we'll just glue that one on like that, and just make sure it's where I want it. Yep. And I'm just going to press it onto the table like that. And then I'm just going to take my scissors and cut around the edge of the tag. And it will just save me having to punch it out and not getting it, like I say, in the right the right length. Although I could have punched the top and then cut the bottom off. Either or. So there we go. And then I'm just going to take my hole punch and punch out that. So that's the big one. So he goes in here. And then this is, my husband's getting closer to my door. I can hear him. And then we're going to cut around this guy. There we go. And just trim around that little round part there. Okay. And then punch that hole. There we go. And then I think what I'm going to do is, because these are very white, again, I'm just going to distress those edges a tiny bit to give them a little color. There's that one. Oops, I need some more ink here. And see, the writing shows through a little bit, but once I put my writing on top of it, you won't see it as much. But again, I'm okay with that, because then I know, like I say, there people that wrote me the card, I can kind of see their writing through it. And it's memories for me. Okay, so those two are done, and yes, 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 let's get back our stamps. And I'm going to stamp, again, I'm going to stamp a little snowflake on the back of this. Oops, sorry, there we go. on the back of these. So let's just lay them out. And let's pick, where's my favorite one, that big huge one. I'm just going to put that one on there, and I think I'll just leave it with the blue. And I'll put it maybe way at the top here. That's nice. And that one. Perfect. Okay, so let me just, whoop. Okay, so let's put that back. And that one. And we're going to put these in. Now I can also add a little piece of, when I can really see that paper through the side there. So I'm just going to trim that down the side. I might even add like a little tie to the top of these. Maybe some more of this. Okay. So let's add a little tag. And I won't need very much, so maybe I'll cut this in two. I just want like a little tail on the top. So we go through the front. And let's pull that guy up. Yeah, let's just add a little zing to the top of the tag there. And we go through the front. Now I could have gone crazy and added a lot more collaging in the background, but I really like this paper. And to me, when you're doing your journals, do what you like. Don't try and use what somebody else is using. Try and find something that will make you happy when you open up your journal and flip through the pages next year when you're remembering and all that kind of stuff. You don't want to be using somebody else's ideas or storyline or whatever. Come up with your own. Make it personal. All right, so I'm just going to take Frosty the Snowman and trim him down. And let's see, he'll fit right in there, I think. I don't think it'll hurt it too much, or I can put it underneath our little ornament here. Let's move these guys out of the way. I can maybe put it there. Let's see. Just got to feel where my little... Yeah, I can put it right about... Oops, there we go. I can put it right about there. We'll maybe put it on a jaunty angle. So yeah, let's put it here. Frosty the Snowman. I wonder if I can get that underneath her. Maybe I'll just trim that little... Whoop. I'm just going to turn this a little bit so I can cut this little piece off here so it's not on top of the... There. And again, if you rub on the edges, it kind of takes away from the shiny part. So there's Frosty the Snowman. Where's my little bump? Right there. All right, so we got Frosty the Snowman, and we need our number. 21, and he will go right down here. And there we go. We have our little tag, Frosty the Snowman. And that will hold my little ornament. And then we have our little journaling spots here. And one of them I'm going to write about the paper, and this is my favorite stamps. And then I'm going to write a memory about building snowmen with my sisters, and then maybe a memory of building snowmen with my kids. And that's kind of what I'm using my journal for, is to fill it with memories. So this is all about memories for me to flip back through over the years and look through and save them for my kids. This will be something I can pass down to my grandkids and they can go through. But that's it for day 21, Frosty the Snowman. I hope you enjoyed the layout. Hopefully see you tomorrow. Bye for now.